welcome. So happy to have you all. I decided to do this fun live where we're going to talk about Taylor Swift's new album because I did predict a year ago that she, and what's her name, Blake Lively would no longer be friends. And I did recently predict that Taylor Swift, about 2 months ago, 3 months ago, would write a song about, or a few songs about her and Blake's relationship or friendship, rather. So I'm going to be covering that. I think a lot of it is about this. I did strongly say, I've always said that I think Taylor and Travis have a kind of relationship where they're together so that she can say what she wants and people will not associate it with him per se. If that makes any sense. I don't know if that makes sense. But before we do that, I just want to say hi to everybody. And how's everybody doing? Hi, Brianne. Oh, you're so sweet as always. How are you? Nice to see you. Can everybody hear me properly? It says my mic is working. I just want to make sure everybody can hear me. I need to grab my water for a second. I've just been talking a lot. Let me just grab my water and I'll be right back. Okay, I'm back. Sorry about that. Just so thirsty. I did this crazy workout earlier. Just been drinking water ever since. I'm talking a lot too. So I just recorded 5 videos. I do have an issue with my app. Uh, yeah, but basically I edit my videos through an app, and one of my cards had an issue with my app store, so they're sending me a new card. So I'm not sure if we have them edited tomorrow for members, but I'll have them edited by Saturday, hopefully, depending on when my card arrives. But very soon. Okay, hi Brianne. It says the whole podcast was like a hostage situation. I know, right? You know, it's funny. When I was getting ready, I was getting dressed, right? And if you watch my channel, you know I love Love Is Blind, and the new UK one just came out, and so I was watching a recap about it. And as I was watching the recap, it ended, and then after that, the podcast came on, and I was like, oh gosh, that's what people were talking about. But I don't know, it just like very inauthentic to me. I don't know if you guys, what you guys thought about that announcement, where she said, I only got to that part, and I was like, I cannot watch this anymore. Because I don't want to be jaded. You know, when you watch something, all you're doing is judging people. It makes me not want to watch it anymore because I don't want negativity in my life. But I saw they were talking about. She said, "Oh, in the house, I hear him say New Heights. Is that what it's called, New Heights?" And I say, "Oh, New News" or something like that. New News, and she's like, "Oh, I say New News too." And I was like, "She's acting. That's such be great acting." And you know the thing about Hollywood is that a lot of people on relationships that aren't real. They're just for a reason. And I've always said that I don't think that their relationship is real. That's just my opinion and what I pick up intuitively. But we're not here to cover that. We're going to cover this story. So the reason that I said I really believe that Taylor and Travis's relationship is not real, I've always said that, is because she was getting a lot of criticism for being a mean girl because they said she goes after her exes. And particularly, if you watch this, I can't play it here because NBC is very strict on what they claim. I won't be able to get it monetized because they're just going to use it. They're just going to claim all the money for my video. But I was watching Watch What Happens Live. And I didn't know that that was his mother. I used to watch that show. I forgot what it's called, but it's like The Talk. Or it's like The View, but it's like the British version. It's like For Us Woman or something like that. Let me look it up. But I used to watch it a lot. Even when I lived in England, I used to watch it. Let me see. It's called... Okay, The View. But British. I forgot what it's called. Loose Woman. That's what it's called. Loose Woman. I'll show you guys. And one of the women is Matt Healy's mother, which is so funny. I watched her for years. Yeah, her. I'll show you guys. It's on ITV. I used to watch it. I used to watch it a lot when I was a kid. Watching things for adults. I look back when I'm like, why was I watching these things? But she lost a lot of weight now. I'll show you guys who she is. Okay, I'll show you guys really quickly. So that's Matt Healy's mother, who's Taylor Swift's ex-boyfriend's mother. So this is her. You can see her with the silver hair. She was on Watch What Happens Live, and she said, they asked her a question. I'm paraphrasing because I don't fully remember exactly what he said. Andy Cohen asked her something about, or it might have been a guest. You know when guests ask questions? And she responded by saying, the question basically was, how do you feel about Taylor Swift? And her answer, she basically said, it's not fair that she can write a song, but the person can't because they have to sign a bunch of NDAs. And I think she's gotten that. So since Matt Healy, all of a sudden now she's with Travis Kelce, you know. So I think Matt Healy was very vocal to Taylor Swift about how he didn't like that. And I think Joe Alwyn was very vocal to Taylor Swift about how he didn't like that. So since then, I think she developed a strategy that, hey, I'm going to have a fake boyfriend and I'm just going to use him. No matter what the Taylor people say, I don't believe this relationship is real. I think it started off as like something fun, flirtatious, and it's just being prolonged because they both get something out of it. He got the most views he's ever gotten on his podcast, you know? So he's getting something from it, she's getting something from it, but it will end soon. They're going to have a fake proposal and then it's going to end. So, back to this life of a showgirl. If anybody wants to add something to what I've said. We're going to start off with the first song. So I'm going to do 2 parts. This week I'm going to do 6 tracks. Next week I'm going to do 6 tracks because it is a lot of energy for me to read 12 tracks. So I'm going to start off with The Fate of Ophelia. And let's see who Ophelia is. So it's a painting. Is it that, I forgot a lot of my art history, honestly. Oh, so that's what inspired this. Oh, Ophelia's that Shakespeare, right? Ophelia, she's a young... Yeah, okay, Shakespeare. See, as much as I love Shakespeare, the character of Hamlet, of course I know Hamlet. Yeah, okay. Ophelia's the daughter. Yeah. Okay, so I haven't read Shakespeare in so long. It's actually shameful. I should read Shakespeare again. I love Shakespeare. So the daughter. Okay, so let's talk about Ophelia. Like most characters in Hamlet, Ophelia's name is not Danish. It first appeared in Jacopo. Yeah, that's what I was thinking of. Ophelia is that poem by that Italian poet. Ophelia is obedient to her father and well loved by many characters. When Polonius tells her to stop seeing Hamlet, she does so. He tells her to set up a meeting so that he and Claudius is fine. Ophelia is a foil to Hamlet. Does anybody remember this? I don't remember Hamlet that well. I wish I did. I used to love Shakespeare. Um, Ophelia's first appearance, the play she sees her brother. Okay, so I don't really remember Hamlet like that. I should, I don't. So I had to read it in high school. But I'm gonna go by the energy of how she feels Ophelia, what's in the song, and this is just what energetically I pick up that the song will be about. Okay, so so the energy that I get, Eight of Swords, I'm using the lightest tarot. Eight of Swords, the Sun, the Four of Cups. You know, this is what I struggle with Taylor Swift about, is that I see a lot of victimhood in her. I think that, and maybe that's what Matt Healy's mother was saying when she says, I don't watch What Happens Live, but there's a lot of this is happening to me, not happening for me. No matter what you're going through, whether people are conspiring against you, whether people are out to get you, whether people have orchestrated, sometimes your friend, look at your goddaughter's mother, one of your really good friends, will be out against you, you know, if you have a huge fallout. But it's happening for you. And if you get stuck in that it's happening to me, it's never going, you're going to keep encountering the same situation because you're never going to learn from it. So Four of Cups, Four of Cups about missed opportunity. I see very strongly this victimhood. And I did say, I strongly see that Travis, being in this relationship, provides her with this protection. But the protection is to keep her a victim. And I really don't like that about her. I really wish she would really grow up. We're the same age. And it's like, Taylor, come on, grow up. And also, being a Sun of Sagittarius, Sun of Sagittarius can really play the victim a lot. Fire signs in general, they act like, okay, I'm all this, and somebody fights back, they're like, oh no, I'm not that. And even though this song, I think, pertains to her relationships, I think it's also her relationship with the media. I think she's trying to say in the song, Ace of Cups, Ten of Swords, Four of Swords, that all she wants to do is live a normal life. People are constantly trying to say things about her, do things to her, and she just wants to be normal. That's basically what I get the energy of from this song, right? It's energetic, so it's not completely accurate, like I always say, it's intuitive based. But the energy that I get from this song in particular is that the media is on a hunting spree to get her. That's what I get. No matter what she does, it's always going to be wrong. And that's why I think what she means, the fate of Ophelia. Fate of Ophelia is one wrong move and she's evil. That kind of energy. So, unless anybody has anything to say about it, I'm going to move on to Elizabeth Taylor. And we all know who Elizabeth Taylor is. If you don't know, let me quickly pull up something about her. Very interesting woman. I think she's a Gemini, what I can remember. Sun in Gemini. Oh no, she's a Pisces. Or she was a Pisces. When did she pass? Oh my gosh, I had no idea she passed on. Oh, she was English? Elizabeth Taylor? I did not know that. I don't know that at all. Okay, I'm going to share the screen with you guys about Elizabeth Taylor, and then we'll get to how it pertains to the song. So, Dame Elizabeth Rosamond Taylor was an English-American actress. She began her career as a child actress early 1940s and was one of the most popular stars in classic Hollywood cinema. She then became the world's highest-paid movie star in the 1960s, remaining a well-known public figure for the rest of her life. In 1999, the American Film Institute ranked her 7th on its greatest film screen legends, female screen legends list. Born in London to socially prominent American parents, also her parents are American, because I always thought she was American. Taylor moved with her family to Los Angeles in 1939. She made her first acting debut with a minor role in the Universal Pictures film There's One Born Every Minute. She was with MGM, that I knew very well, Father of the Bride, Place in the Sun, blah blah blah. You get the gist. I had no idea she was born in London, so I suppose she's not really English. But yeah, she is. Okay, so I'm going to use my mermaid deck for this one. So we're going to talk about how why it's called that, the energy of the song, and what I think she's talking about. So Elizabeth Taylor, the song. And like I said before, next week we'll cover the next 6 songs. Today we're doing 6 songs. Next week we're doing the other 6 songs. Also, please like the video. It really, really helps, guys. Okay, so I feel like, I think I saw this about Elizabeth Taylor. She was very tragic in love. She had like a bunch of husbands, if I remember that correctly. Let me see. Yeah, So this falls in line. I'm not judging her. I'm just. She married Conrad Hilton. Wow, Conrad Hilton really had a lot of women. Because he married Jar Jar Gabor too. I know a lot about Jar Jar Gabor because we have the same birthday, so I always use that as reference. That's actually the only real older Hollywood that I know anything about, because I used to love Jar Jar Gabor because we have the same birthday. But with that being said, I see that this song is in reference to her making a lot of money. They did say Elizabeth Taylor at some time was the highest paid actress at that time, the 1950s. And 5 people out to get her. I think Elizabeth Taylor might have felt like very similarly. When is her birthday? It's the 27th. Okay, so she was a Pisces, not a Sagittarius. But they're both ruled by Jupiter. In fact, I see this trend a lot in some Pisces. Sorry, I don't want to insult you, Brianna. I know you're Pisces. But some Pisces can be very victim. I think that Jupiter energy can create, the overthinking kind of victim mentality. Excuse me, let me just grab my card. If that makes any sense. I don't know if it makes any sense. So she feels this song, the lyrics are going to be in what I energetically pick up on, is that Queen of Wands is going to be very much, I want the best, doing the best I can, and I can't move forward because I make the Magician reverse. I make so much money, I do so much, 2 of Pentacles, bottom of the deck, that I can only do so much without being scrutinized. And I think Elizabeth Taylor, I don't know this for sure, but I get the strong energy that Elizabeth Taylor was like in a contract she couldn't get out of. So she feels like she's kind of shackled And the contract, I don't think Taylor is necessarily in. That I think it's a euphemism for the contract she has with the public. That now she can't just live a normal life. She has to be a showgirl for the rest of her life. And she's navigating through that. No matter what she does, people will always have something to say about it. So let's see. Oh, hi, Moshe Chetan. How are you? 1950s? Okay, thank you so much. I appreciate that. Thank you for correcting me. I'm Beyonce. Hi. Thank you so much for that. I really appreciate that correction. Older Hollywood, I really struggle with. Even though I love Grease, Grease is one. I suppose it's not really older Hollywood, but I'm glad to see you too. Thank you so much. I really appreciate that. Where did you say you're from? How do you say your name? Me, Chante, Chaton. Is that right? Are you French speaking? That's how I see it. So please correct me. Oh, Elizabeth Taylor starred in one of my favorite movies, Cat on Hot Tin Roof. I heard a lot about it. I'm the worst. My ex-boyfriend used to love old movies, and I do not like them at all. It's not really my thing. I don't like classic movies, unfortunately. I think the most classic, like I said, is Grease. That's the most classic. I don't know what it is. I've tried. I've really, really tried, but it's just not for me. I like more things in the future. I'm a very futuristic type of person. Mais chant, ton. Okay, yeah, it's French. Yeah, I could tell. I learned French in school. And like I told you guys last week, or the week before, I don't want to get into it. I'm not going to. It's a whole long explanation. But I learned French at school. I try my best to speak it still. That film is an adaptation of a pretty famous Tennessee Williams play. Okay, I know Tennessee Williams, of course. It's great, very dramatic and southern. Interesting. Cool. Well, I'll check it out if I have time. I'll check it out. But yeah, I mean, I know Elizabeth Taylor as like I think she was so beautiful. So as an adult, no, I'd say when I got into my teens, I started to really appreciate her. And there was a movie she did where let me see what that movie was called, where she's married to that guy. She's married to that guy. Let's see all her movies. Let's see, film credit. I really liked that movie, but I forgot what it was called. She's married to filmography. It's Cleopatra. I love Cleopatra. I never saw Cat on a Hot Tin Roof. I never saw that. Flintstones. I love Flintstones. I remember like stuff I watched of her when she was older. Now because I was a teenager, I really liked Lassie. I saw Lassie. A lot of movies that she's been in I've watched. I just didn't know about her when she was younger. And I didn't know she was English. And she was in this show that I used to watch that I totally forgot about. But obviously I watched Cleopatra. They made us watch it at school, even though it's completely not what Cleopatra was like, but it's okay. She's still beautiful nonetheless. Yeah. Okay, so I should pick something easy to say. I picked it before they invented live streams. It's okay. That's funny. Méchant Chateton. That's what it is, right? Méchant Chateton. It's okay. You don't have to pick anything. You do you. As somebody with a complicated name, I totally get it. Okay, so next song we're going to move on to is... I've actually been thinking, where do you live, Méchant? I've been considering moving to France recently instead of New York. I don't know. We'll see what happens. Just because I don't really like what's happening Oh, you live in DC? Okay, cool, cool, cool. Really cool. So are you French or you have French heritage? My sister lives in Europe and I have a lot of friends and family in Europe. I'm like, you know what? I'm tired of being alone here. Even though I have family in Europe, I don't really see them a lot. Oh, you just chose the French name. Yeah, yeah. I chose the French name because I happened to the French school. Yeah, Méchant. Yeah, the kitten ears. Okay. I get that. That's so smart. Very smart. When's your birthday? Okay, so let's move on to Opalite, which I just want to see the meanings of things, and I'll break it down before. Yeah, okay. Opalite, that's what it is. I thought that. Sometimes when I'm tired and I read things, I read it the wrong way. I remember a long time ago, I was reading a contract, a long story. I used to write for a magazine, right? And I was reading the contract to my roommate, and I said libel instead of libel. She was like, libel! And I was like, yeah, I'm just tired. I just pronounced it the wrong way, girl. Chill. But anyway, this reminds me, every time I pronounce something wrong, I just remember my judgmental roommate. Okay, so opalite, despite its name and resemblance to opal, is not a natural gemstone but a man-made glass. Often used as a substitute for opal, it is known for its iridescent, milky appearance and is associated with emotional healing, enhanced communication, and spiritual awakening. So let's see what this means. This is the energy I pick up behind the song. Okay, so this is kind of like an Easter egg song. There's going to be a lot of like, which is she's a very good songwriter. Very. I still listen to a lot of Taylor Swift music today. I don't agree with some of how she handles things, but that's different to her music she creates. She's very creative and artistic. And this song, Opalite, is going to be kind of like a riddle rhyme type where she's going to use a lot of Easter eggs, a lot of mystery words, but I think it's going to be kind of like a love song to Travis, or appear to be. The Magician, Knight of Swords, and King of Swords. It's going to, I think she throws in songs that aren't really that authentic. I think she has to at this point, otherwise her fans are going to hunt down every single person, which is not really cool. But it's a High Priestess, being spiritual awareness, interesting. The Magician, Knight of Swords, and King of Swords. I think that even though their relationship is not necessarily real, I think that it has provided, like I said, protection. And I think that they are genuine friends. I think that they are genuine friends, and I think that when they even break up, they will continue to be friends. So the friendship aspect of her appreciates him a lot and sees his kind heart. And that's what she's going to talk about in the song Opalite. Is that this relationship, friendship, whatever it is, has brought out a side in her that is optimistic for the future. Because at least she knows what he wants from it and it's not really hidden. I don't know if that makes any sense. I've seen the color of his eyes described with the color of opalite by some speculating on the matter. Interesting, that's very interesting. I think it's how he has impacted her life as a friend. Like I said before, I think it's very contractual. I don't think it's a real relationship. But you'll find a lot of these kind of like fake Hollywood relationships, they either really dislike each other or they really are fond of each other and have like a fond friendship. And I don't think it would have lasted this long if they didn't like or respect each other on a platonic level, if that makes any sense. So that's what I think it's about. Okay, so let's move on to the next one. It's actually a lot of fun. The third last one, which is father figure. So, obviously, father figure. I've always said that I strongly see that her and her dad have issues. I said until she breaks free from her dad, she's never going to have, which I think she's slowly starting to do. She's never really going to have a proper relationship with anyone, with any kind of romantic partner, because he's always going to have the reins. So I see this song as being Seven of Swords, Queen of Wands, and Nine of Cups. She wants to be a free spirit, but her dad is always going to be around. I've said this a lot. Go back and watch my Taylor Swift videos. I've said this a lot. Her dad is the puppeteer behind everything she does. Kind of like her gatekeeper, you know? And he will always, until she cuts the cord with him, he will always have a reign over her. And I think she's struggling. You know, I was watching Jules' video talking about her mother and how her mother took money from her and was her manager. I don't think it's that extreme, but sometimes our parents do things to us. Not all the time, but sometimes our parents do things to us that we struggle to stand up towards or against because we think that parents can do no wrong, you know, which is completely untrue. So that's what she's going to talk about trying to set proper boundaries, about, you know, being in his control. Three of Cups, the Emperor, and Hierophant, and trying to be the best version of herself that she can for him, and still not feeling enough. It's going to be shocking to him. It's going to be shocking to him. He's going to be like, it's kind of also like Britney Spears' dad. You know, Britney Spears' dad is an extreme version of that, but a lot of showbiz parents are very controlling. And the older you get, in the beginning when they're younger, it shelters them from a lot of bad things happening to them. But they always see their children as children, never as adults. It creates a lot of tension and friction between them because of that reason. I pray that Taylor gets therapy. Me too. I really do. Because she has so much potential. She's almost 40. We're the same age. We're 4 years shy of 40. So, well, she's 35. So at the end of the year, at the beginning of the year. And I mean, first time I got therapy, it was when my parents got divorced. I was acting really weird. So they sent me to therapy. Teachers were concerned about me. And it was one of the best things that ever happened to me. I go in and out of therapy throughout my whole life, and it's so helpful to develop tools to deal with life and to get out of the victimhood, you know? Sometimes you can feel like you're a victim. You can feel like, you know, actually one time when I was in therapy, I used to write for a magazine, right? I think I've told the story to you guys. It's your first time watching, it'll be your first time hearing this, but I used to write for a magazine, very popular health magazine online. And I used to do these, every 2 weeks I used to write an article for them. And in the beginning, I wouldn't get that many hits. Towards the end, I got like 70,000 shares, or like a lot of hits. And I was so grateful that they kept editing my articles more and more to make them more sensational, excuse me, to give them more sensationalism, or to make them more sensational. And it got to the point where I got so much hate. First time I saw so many hateful comments, I started shaking. I didn't know what to do with myself. And I'm very grateful that I had grounding and therapy to get me through, because being in public scrutiny is not for the weak. It's not for a victim mindset, otherwise you'll stay stuck at home. Having any kind of haters, whether it's in your family, your job, any kind of aspect, you know, somebody you know, your neighbor, it can bring you down. You know, you can have looping thoughts and think, this person's out to get me, this person's out to get me. That's why having a support system, having a good therapist, I had a great therapist. Sometimes my gotta be honest, I've struggled with some therapists. But when you have a therapist that understands you, that reminds you you're not a victim, that everything's happening for you, not against you, it can really, really help you. Really, really help you. And I just remember watching Oprah. She used to have this thing called Super Soul Sunday. And one of the things she said was Maya Angelou came on her show. And Maya Angelou said to her, you know, a lot of these people that are hating on you, they can't even bring themselves to do the things you're doing. And that's how I feel about Oprah sometimes. People judge her and all that kind of stuff. I'm not crazy about Oprah. I think she has a mean spirit sometimes. But instead of harping on about how somebody is awful, how somebody is this, how somebody's that, create your own. Make your own life happier. If you have people at your job that make you feel bad, focus on yourself, focus on your healing in your own life. If you have your neighbor that's being rude or whatever, focus on yourself. How can you not let it affect you? They are them and you are you. And how can you not integrate into that and be more of a healed version of yourself? And I think it's not easy being in the public light. I've only had a slight bit of it. But even then, some people would die to be in her position. So you can't always think victim, victim, victim. People are going through real situations. Her dad is super involved. He even called Justin Baldoni's lawyer to say Blake has threatened him back in May. Oh, really? I did not know that. So is this true? Because I saw that. Thank you for sharing that, by the way. I saw Candace Owens said something about that. I like Candace Owens sometimes. Sometimes I think she's just a lot. I think she's very eloquent. I think she's very well spoken. I think she's very well put together. I think, I don't know, I just like that about someone, no matter who they are. Sometimes I think when you say well spoken and the person's black, people take it the wrong way. But when anyone's well spoken, I really appreciate it. She's so eloquent. But sometimes she's just so radical in what she says. I have to switch her off. So I don't watch all of her stuff, especially lately. I'm just like, oh, please. But a lot of the stuff, especially about the Justin Baldoni stuff, I was very, very into. So I go back and forth. But she said that Taylor's dad had reached out to Taylor's dad, had reached out to Justin Baldoni's lawyer. Brian Friedman, Justin's lawyer, submitted a sworn statement to court saying this. Wow. Thank you for sharing that. That's insane. I used to keep up with Popcorn Planet too, but I haven't kept up with them in a while. I've been very, very busy. But wow, because they used to give me updates, because I haven't really been updated about It Ends With Us. I will be very soon though, guys, so please stay tuned. I will be covering the Isabel Ferreira next reading. I'm going to do a whole lot. I just didn't have time today, and it requires a lot of energy. I got up very late, and because of I have a lot going on right now. A lot. So because I'm working on final stages of an app until that's done. So I want to do like a full long haul video about It Ends With Us, because if you guys have watched my It Ends With Us, I've been accurate a lot, and I want to cover Isabel. I want to cover the supporting actors, because I want to see what's going on with them. There's just so much going on, and I have a strong feeling that what comes out in Taylor Swift's album regarding Blake Lively is going to put a lot of public pressure on her to settle. I see her settling in autumn, which is fall, in the northern hemisphere. Okay, so let's move on to the second. I said her father figure, right? So let's do eldest daughter. Which is she the oldest daughter? Let's see. I didn't know she had siblings. Okay, she does have siblings. Interesting. I had no idea. Did you guys know she has siblings? Okay, I know she's December. Oh, she's December 3rd. Or 13th, excuse me. Oh, she just has one brother, and he's younger than her? You never really hear about him. Did anybody hear about him before? You never really hear him. Let me share this with you guys. I feel like I'm talking to myself. You never really hear about the brother. Did anybody hear about the brother? But I'm not really a big Taylor Swift fan, so. The only supporting actor to hit the docket so far is Isabella. It's a mystery what's up with the rest. And I have a strong feeling, that Isabella, I did see on Hot Mics with Betty Bush, that her uncle is George Clooney, and I'm not a George Clooney fan, let me tell you that. At all. Like, at all. I don't like actors that get involved in politics and want to act like they rule the world. I don't like anybody. If you're not in politics and you're not running for anything, I think you should just stay out of it, Don't play from the sideline and try to think that your money or your fame can have an impact on the world. It's not going to. Taylor is indeed big sis. Oh, okay, thank you. Thank you so much for that commentary. I really appreciate that. I had no idea she had a brother. Oh, he's been in movies. Wow. I don't know, for some reason I thought she was an only child. Okay, so she is, because he's 1992. Okay, March 11th, so he's a Pisces. Interesting. They don't really look alike. Let's see. It looks very different, so let's see. I'm going to show you guys. Yeah, they don't really look alike. I don't know if you guys can. He's 33. Oh, that was him? Wow. Yeah, no, they do look alike, actually. He kind of gives me... not in a bad way at all. I wasn't going to say in a bad way. But he reminds me kind of like Tom Brady. I don't know why. Gives me similar energy. I think I can see that. Like, look here. Gives me Tom Brady energy. But we never really hear about him. But anyways. Back to... Oh, you can't... I'm sorry, you guys. You couldn't see. Sorry. Let me show you. Who I think he looks like Tom Brady. Okay. I don't know why I won't show. Okay, there we go. Okay, let me show you what I think he looks like him. Over here. Looks like Tom Brady. I don't know why I get Tom Brady energy. I don't know if you guys can see it. I'm here too. I don't know why. Okay, so let's get into this. So big sis. What does it say? Excuse me. Eldest daughter. And he's a new child therapist. And I want to go to bed. I'm so tired. I want to watch Love is Blind and I go to bed. Okay, so I think the song is going to be about how Two of Wands, Divine Wisdom, and Nine of Swords, how she acknowledges that her parents sacrificed a lot for her, but it also made her feel a lot of pressure. I'm not the eldest, so I don't understand. I'm the middle child, which middle children, we have our own issues. But something I've seen in a lot of older siblings is that they can have a lot of anger problems. I've seen that in a lot of older siblings. A lot of kind of control issues and anger issues. So the Knight of Cups, she's grateful, but she feels a lot of pressure to be perfect. and she feels a lot of pressure to be who her parents, Three of Pentacles, Ten of Wands, Page of Pentacles. But she wanted to go away. I think there was a time, she might even say this, there was a time she wanted to move to Europe. She might wanted to move to London. But her parents were like, no, stay here. So she's felt like she's had to be the perfect daughter for her parents because she's the oldest, And it is a very particular. A lot of older siblings often tell me that, or speak about that they feel so much pressure to be the perfect one because they're the first child, which I don't relate to because I'm not the oldest. I'm a middle child, but I can understand that. So that's what she's going to talk about. That's what I see very strongly. The resemblance also in music, right? She should have made him. Yeah, him and the man. I could see that. I could see her. That would be a great idea, actually. But sometimes working with siblings is not a good idea. Honestly. Okay, so I'm gonna do the last one. We'll do Star Child Tarot. I'm an only child. I can't. You see, I find that so fascinating. Sometimes when I think about when I decide to have kids, or when I decide to have kids with, or I might, if I don't meet the person I want to have kids with by 40, I'm just gonna have kids alone. We'll see. But yeah, I wonder what that experience of having an only child or being an only child is like. Yeah. So if you want to talk to us about it, we're more than happy, more than interested. Okay, so let's do the last one, which is ruin the friendship. So this is the one that it says about Blake. Which let's see if it is. Okay, so already energetically, I get a lot. I think this might be one of the main songs that's going to come out. It might be like her first single, second single, but it's going to be very much 9%. And this is intuitive based, guys. Just remember that, please. 9 of Crystals to Awards King 1. It's going to be basically that she felt like she had to tiptoe around Blake's relationship, the friendship with her, because of Ryan. It's going to be surprisingly about Ryan Reynolds. And she might make reference to a man. People are going to wonder who that man is. I strongly, in this particular song, I strongly believe that the man is Ryan. Page of Cups, and that he's conniving. Which is interesting because I actually saw that after their friendship, after everything that happens, Ryan is going to be not really cool with Taylor, but they're going to be cordial. There's going to be they're going to kind of not be close, like I said, but be kind of like acquaintance types to one another. But yeah, she's going to say that he ruined their friendship. Basically, she feels like Ryan Reynolds ruined her friendship with Blake. And that he probably was very controlling. I get that. He used to call her Knight of Cups, Four of Swords, and the Lovers. And she just felt like she wanted to be a friend. You know, when you have a friend that's in a bad relationship and you want to be friends with them, to help them, to guide them. I can relate so much to this. And the person that they're with constantly brings them down, wants to control them, But what Taylor needs to understand is that it's a two-way street, Unless there's DV involved, no one stays in a relationship that they're not getting anything from. I think people need to understand that, especially because sometimes we give women a pass because we think women are, in general, victims. But like I said, unless there's DV involved, I've had to admit that about myself. I was in a relationship for 5 years and I was making myself the victim. And I had to wake up and say, I'm not the victim. I can leave. Unless there's DV, you can always leave. Always. You just have to remind yourself of that. Um, and I think that their friendship was ruined by Ryan and his antics. And she's going to talk about that in this song, Ruin the Friendship. You said I grew up doing lots of reading and conversations with my parents. I get that. Did you ever feel lonely? I always think if I only have one child, I feel like they might get lonely. It's just my honest opinion. Uh, are you saying Ryan's getting Taylor in the divorce? Um, no, what I'm saying is that once they get divorced, Blake and Ryan, oh yeah, so you do mean that. Okay, yeah. It's tough. I was actually having this conversation the other day about friends, who you're friends with. I usually side with the woman, not always, because I was watching Real Housewives of Miami. We were talking about it um, with some colleagues that I have and people that I know, my sister. We talk about it, and basically the whole premise of what's happening in the show is that one friend doesn't want to unfollow her friend's ex, and the other friend is upset about that. And for me, I would just unfollow that ex. Like, it's not, if my friend had an ex, I probably wouldn't even follow them, number one. Number two, actually, two of my really good friends are married. They're married to great guys, but if they ever got divorced, knock on wood, if they ever got divorced, I would definitely unfollow them because I don't want anything to do with them, especially if I feel like they were treated badly. But, yeah, so I usually take the woman's side. But it's not always the case. Sometimes things are revealed, and I think something's going to be revealed about Blake. I did say this, that is going to change Taylor's opinion of why they couldn't be friends after everything happens. She's going to see that she thought Blake was a victim. She's going to find out she wasn't. She wasn't at all. Are you surprised that Taylor and Blake is ruined? No, I know, right? So sad. Not surprised a bit. I didn't feel lonely growing up. You get used to being alone, being a child. My mom was single and working much of my childhood. So being me and my parents was normal. I get that. I understand. I totally get that. And I always say it's better to have, you meet people that have, not meet, but you encounter, hear stories about people having 6 kids and there's a lot of dysfunction. So I feel like it's better to have less children that are raised properly than have like a bunch of children that are raised in dysfunction and drama. Not that that has to be the case, but I'm just saying in general. It's better the former than the latter. Okay, guys, I'm going to end this live. So next week I'll be doing a live about the second part of this album. So it's part 1, part 2 will be next week. So please make sure you stay tuned. I usually go live at about 10:30, 11, just depending on what's going on in my life. Yeah, but I look forward to it, and I do have some videos coming out. Like I said, please be patient because I have to wait for my card to arrive from Chase so that I can input it into my app and edit the videos. But should be no later than Sunday. So next week we'll have lots of videos available. Members, you get them first. You get at least 2 days access to it before everybody else. And yeah, I am so looking forward to spending time with you guys next week. Like I said, and I'm going to do the It Ends With Us because It Ends With Us is really heating up. This is the time when things are really going to heat up. I said end of summer, early autumn, fall, things are really going to heat up. If I catch you, I'll try to make it. I like your content. You seem nice. Oh, you're so sweet. I really appreciate that. I really, really thank you. That means a lot to me. I try to be nice. Some people bring out the worst in you, but I'm not a pushover. I'm nice, but I'm not a pushover. Let's put it like that. So I think people in general, it's sad that this is the case, but in general, people think if you're nice, you're a pushover, but I'm definitely not. I'm kind to those who are kind, and not to those who are not. Okay, thank you so much for watching, everybody. My battery is about to die on my Mac, and I don't feel like charging it again tonight. So I will see you all very soon. Thank you so much for watching. I love you all. Take care. Oh, please don't forget to make recommendations for future lives and for videos. Take care.